Hello Susan, this is Group 2 consisting of Ishti Arora as a project manager, Saki as a subject matter expert, Gisleni as the head of legal and Abdul as the head of research. We are presenting on the topic wood pellet production. Hello, I'm the project manager. I'm going to talk about the purpose of our project, the business case, the business objectives involved, and the project description and its objectives. So let's start with the presentation. Talking about the project purpose or the justification, the main purpose of a project is proper utilization of waste woods and fallen trees. As we have seen that there are so many fallen trees laying around in Vancouver, there is no proper use for them. So by using these fallen trees as a raw material, we won't only be clearing the land, but also creating a biofuel that will help us cut down the carbon footprints and help us reduce the effects of global warming and climate change. Also, by doing this project, we will generate employment opportunities for the people living in Vancouver and we will contribute to the economy. And the most important part would be we will generate awareness about the use of wood pellet as a biofuel for domestic purposes as well as industrial purposes. Business case talks about why we are doing this project even though we know the risk involved. For us, this involves to diminish the effects of global warming and climate change, to utilize the waste woods and fallen trees, to create a clean energy resource, to remove residues from fallen trees to avoid forest fires, to decrease the use of conventional sources of energy such as fossil fuels, which are major contributors of global warming, to utilize ash as a fertilizer, which can be used in farming, and to provide jobs to the local people of Vancouver. Coming to the business objectives, our major business objectives are to contribute to meeting the growing demand of energy, to decrease the dependency on fossil fuels, and to reduce the carbon footprint and reduce the effects of global warming. Description and objectives. The first step involves defining the quality and quantity of the raw material. The second step, which is the major step, is the construction of a wood pellet manufacturing plant. This involves a series of steps. The first step is selecting the proper design of the apparatus. The second step, finding an ideal location for our plant. Then acquiring permits such as building permits, emission permits. Then selecting suitable contractors and suppliers. Also, we will hire some engineering consultants as well. Then procurement, which involves contract signing, purchasing equipment and shipping. Then assembling the required equipment, preparation of the building, then testing of our wood pellet production line, and then handing it over.
Hello everyone, I'm Saki Özkaran, the subject matter expert for our project team. Now I will tell you about the wood pellet production line project's success criteria, preliminary scope statement, our constraints, assumptions, and risks.
Our project is to build a wood pellet production plant. That's why our major criteria are to complete this plant and make it ready to produce wood pellets. Completion of the wood pellet will mean that the production line in all respects will be ready to use. To achieve this, we have some other criteria to be completed. We will conduct research activity to understand the compliance of our project with federal and provincial rules and bylaws. We will also do market research, identify the raw material, determine the financial supports, and plant capacity. Finding the appropriate location will be done considering logistics, available employees, and other technical issues such as the availability of power, gas, and water. Once we have the location, the required permits such as building permits, machinery permits, and emission permits will be obtained. Selecting the proper suppliers such as consultants, designer for the apparatus, engineering, manufacturing, assembling, logistics, and testing companies and organizations. Building needed to be prepared and equipment will be manufactured according to design drawings. Following the shipment of the equipment, they will be assembled on the site and we will conduct testing to verify if the plant is working properly to produce desired quality of product. Our success will be approved by the product's EM Plus legislation compliancy, which is the European wood pellet standard. And lastly, the staff members assigned by the customer will be trained. Our preliminary scope statement comprises of picking the proper location, finding the right equipment, selecting the right type of the raw material to have the proper quality of the end product, conducting market research for our produce, and making the feasibility of the project. During the project, we will have three major constraints comprising of raw material, schedule, and location. And we assume we will buy the raw material from sawmills, that we will get the waste trees from the forest for free. Emissions during the production process will meet the regulatory criteria set by the government of British Columbia. The end-to-end testing results will meet the desired product quality, and all the contractors and consultants will perform their job adequately. We determined some risks for this project. The major risk is colored with red, defines changing bylaws, which will not allow us to use fallen trees as a raw material at all. Our plan A to mitigate this risk is to switching the raw material to sawmill dust. If it won't work, we will run the contingency plan B and import the raw material from Alberta province. Our yellow colored less critical risk is faulty design of the equipment, and the least criticals are low quality of the end product and incorrect selection of the location. Our contingency plans also identified to mitigate these problems.
Hello, my name is Slaine. I am head of legal in this project, and now I am going to talking about project deliverable summary and milestone schedule summary. We have defined some main points that our project will provide to achieve the established goals. As a summary of the deliverables in our project, we have wood pellets that are our final product, wood pellet production line to be possible to make wood pellets, permits that are the official documents that authorize the operation of the production line, training of the personnel to teach employees to work in this production, employment opportunities that we will provide in the city of Vancouver, designing drawings for the apparatus, as well make the layout of the plant, that is how this machinery will be replaced in the building, research of the applicable legislation, market competitors, financial support, product demand, and definition of raw material. As milestone schedule at intermediate points are significant in this project, so that each of these phases can be properly verified to assess whether the goals and deadlines defined by the main stakeholders in the project have been met. As a milestone schedule for this project, we defined 14 steps, which are research completed, design approved, location found, permits acquired, supply determined, contract signed, purchase done, manufacturing controlled, shipment done, all items approved, building prepared, assembly completed, testing completed, and closed. This is our milestone schedule. Now, Abdul is going to talking about other important information in our project. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdul Basit. I am the head of design of wood pellet production line. Now I'm going to talk about stakeholder list, summary budget, project approval requirements, and project authorizing form of wood pellet production line. Let's start with summary budget. Summary budget of wood pellet production line. In wood pellet production line, the total budget amount is $4,373,100 Canadian dollars. In phase 1, the budget for research is $6,200, $25,000 cost for design apparatus during phase 2, For the find location, the cost is 3,000 during phase 4. The 3,700 is for acquiring lands. In phase 5, for supply search, it's 1,600, 4,210,000 Canadian dollars for procurement of wood pellets. That's the major cost of the project. $81,000 for preparation of building in phase 7. And finally, for assembling, testing, and handovering, the costs are 37,000, 4,000, and 1,600 consequently. The stakeholder list. In general, a stakeholder is anyone who is interested in, affected by, or influenced in relation to a project. The following individuals and groups are the potential stakeholder for our wood pellet production line project. Number 1, Metro Vancouver governments, sawmills in Vancouver, the First Nations, wildlife services, which is forest rangers, which are known as environment and climate change authorities. Sponsor, feedback from Turkey, which is our main sponsor. Wood pellet associations of Canada, Bank of Canada, engineering institutes in University of British Columbia, collaborators, some consultants or project team, contractors, and finally local people in Vancouver. Here is our project approval requirement. In wood pellet production project, some approval required from external authorities. The project approval requirements are as follows. Design approval from FeedTech, which is our main sponsor. We will get machinery approval from engineering and assembling supervision consultant. Assembly approval from same as engineering and assembling supervision consultant. Engineering institute in EBC will do testing. Permits approval from government authority, and finally, our sponsor FeedTech will approve our training programs. And finally, which is our authorization form. Here is our authorization form. The authorization form, which is the standard form that sets description of services to be provided by us. The project authority form may also reference a statement of work document when we have requested services. The authorization form will be governed by the terms of the agreement. Here is one of our authorization forms. That's all about our wood pellet production line project. If you have any question regarding our project, we will be happy to answer your question in the class. Thanks everyone.
As a final comment, we, the members of Group 2, highlight the importance of using biofuels. As we know, this world has been changed by coronavirus outbreak. There's so many crises that our Mother Earth is facing. So let's contribute to our Mother Earth and save our planet by using eco-friendly practices and using a biofuel that can help save our environment.